Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Demi Johnson.
And I'm Kyle Riggles. Thank you for joining us.
With Election Day only 5 days away, time is running out to decide who you're voting for. Some Delaware County residents have already cast their ballot. Abby Lutz is live with more on how early voting is going.
Not busy here right now, but on Election Day, hundreds of people are expected to be lined up out here to cast their vote. Now, some people are wanting to avoid those lines, so they're voting early, but they're finding it might not save them as much time as they think.
I don't want to fall in line on Election Day. You don't know what you're going to come up with, so that's why I'm voting now.
And that's what many voters think of early voting. It's a way to save time. But this year, that might not be the case. Enya Flores-Miser says this is the busiest she's seen the polls during early voting.
Surprise! This precinct is very active.
The election office is seeing high numbers of voters, with nearly 500 people showing up Wednesday for the polls. But that's not the only high turnout the county has seen. Delaware County Clerk Mike King told the Star Press that there are more registered voters this year than the last two presidential elections. Political science professor Sean Hildebrand says this isn't something unique to Delaware County.
I think registration is higher across the board in a lot of places just because it's become so much easier to register, right? Whereas in the past you had to go to the courthouse or some government office and get a piece of paper. Now you can just do it on this.
And as all those citizens plan to vote, some worry that if they vote early, their minds will change by Election Day. But early voter Roger Coates says a few days shouldn't matter.
If you ain't made up your mind by now, then another couple of days probably not going to change nothing.
He says it doesn't matter when you vote, it's just important to do.
If you don't vote, then what good are you?
Now, you do still have time to early vote. It'll be going on at the Delaware County building tomorrow, Saturday, and next Monday. Reporting live in Muncie, Abby Lutz, NewsLink Indiana.
All the polling locations for Delaware County can be found on the county clerk's website.
5 days before the election, the Political Science Department at Ball State is taking a deeper look at this year's candidates. It hosted a pre-election roundtable to get students more involved. Poli-sci students filled Burkhart 101 today to discuss what could happen on November 8th and just how exactly we got here. 5 political science experts made up the panel, focusing on the presidential race. They emphasized just how important Indiana is in this election.
Most people just don't realize that there even is a state government sometimes, and that we have representatives or assemblymen and women, depending on your state, and a state senate.
A follow-up roundtable will take place Thursday afternoon, November 17th from 3:30 until 5 o'clock in the Burkhart Building, room 101.
We now know why Libertarian gubernatorial candidate Rex Bell is in the hospital. His campaign released a statement today saying he suffered a minor stroke yesterday while talking to reporters at the Palladium Item newspaper in Richmond. He is now being treated at IU Health Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis. But his campaign staff said he is fully aware and coherent. He is expected to make a full recovery.
The 2016 presidential election campaign is coming to a close in just 5 days, and the race is coming down to the wire. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are both making their final pushes to gain a slight edge. The two candidates were in North Carolina today for rallies. Trump was in Concord, North Carolina, and Clinton was in Winterville for an early voting rally.
She always talks about me. See, what I have is a winning temperament. I have a winning temperament. Hillary is an unstable person. She is I think she's probably spent $500 million on phony ads.
If Donald Trump were to win this election, we would have a commander-in-chief who is completely out of his depth and whose ideas are incredibly dangerous.
The Delaware County polls open at 6 in the morning on Tuesday and will close later that evening at 6 p.m.
NewsLink Indiana will have election coverage leading up to the big day. Join us here on NewsLink Indiana November 8th for full election coverage. Our news team will be providing live updates. You can tune in at 9 p.m. on Cardinal Vision or watch us at livestream.com.
Demi, here early in November now, the weather's been really strange for this kind of year lately.
Yeah, it has. You know, it was pretty warm this morning, but I hear it might cool off. Lindsay, what can you tell us?
So definitely we did have some clouds this morning and a little bit of rain, but as you can see now it's cleared up. It is 64 right now. We're seeing some sun. We do have some 10-mile-an-hour winds that are coming out of the northeast, so definitely some gusty winds there, and a dew point of 49 degrees. Later on, we will be talking about how clouds are moving out and making way for the clear and sunny skies we're going to be seeing this weekend, and then what we can expect for Tuesday, our forecast for Election Day.
There's a big opportunity this evening for anyone wanting to get a unique taste of the world. Coming up, we'll take you live to Ball State's Amazing Taste.
And if you're looking for another kind of taste, we'll show you a local brewery that's getting more attention next.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Ball State's annual Amazing Taste is happening right now. NewsLink Indiana's Aaliyah English is live now from the event. Aaliyah?
All around Muncie on Thursday, local artists and performers are gearing up to showcase their work. One of these places, Golden Fine Art and Framing Company, are hosting Ball State students so they can show off their glasswork and get an opportunity to use their work in the real world and be able to get a real experience of what it's like showing off their glasswork.
I'm a Ball State School of Art grad, and I started working here when I was still in school, and there's a lot about being an artist that you don't really learn in an academic setting. And so any chance that we have, or that I personally have, to include students in like real world art experiences, it's just rewarding on a level that's beyond really.
The first Thursday festivities go until 8 o'clock in downtown Muncie, so if you have the chance and a little extra time tonight, come downtown to check out everything local performers and artists have to offer. In Muncie, Kara Berg, NewsLink, Indiana.
Ball State's annual Amazing Taste is happening right now.
NewsLink Indiana's Aaliyah English is live now from the event. Aaliyah?
Among those different foods you are able to taste, you're also able to taste bugs from different countries. Right here I have a cricket in my hand. Like I said, there are many different dishes that you can taste here in the Student Center. Live in Muncie, Aaliyah English, NewsLink Indiana.
So I think one of the best things about Amazing Taste is that if you are interested in different cultures, or you're kind of dipping your foot into trying to understand cultures unlike your own, or wanting to kind of understand like the global world around you, this is a great opportunity to do so. So not only do you get to hear music from different cultures, taste test different food from different cultures, but you kind of get to travel in a sense without having to have a passport or get your passport stamped in different countries and things like that. So.
Aaliyah English live in the Student Center for the Amazing Taste, where Muncie residents are able to experience the smells, the sounds, and the taste of over 25 different countries. Right here I have the bug tasting area where they are able to experience different bugs like this cricket in my hand. I was able to speak with Multicultural Assistant Director Seth Kemfer earlier today to give us more about this event.
Doors are open to everyone until 8 this evening. It costs just one meal swipe for Ball State students and $8.95 for those who are 13 and older.
The local brewery New Corner Brewing Company has been on the rise here in Muncie. Samantha Paincal has more on the story.
What makes this brewery tick? That's easy. The master brewer and owner of New Corner Brewing Company, Sean Brady.
So I started brewing after I got back from Afghanistan in 2004. At that time I was serving on active duty with the Indiana Army National Guard, and a buddy of mine who used to run the public radio station here in town, they used to have a wine tasting event, and they had a silent auction, and he got me a wine making kit. And I started by trying to make wine, and you know, a couple of other buddies of mine were wanting to make beer, so we decided to make beer.
Even though New Corner Brewing Company is a small local brewery, they are in corporate restaurants such as Olive Garden and Brothers Bar and Grill. I took a trip to Brothers to see what the manager and guests think of New Corner.
People are always coming into Brothers asking for local beers, and until we got New Corner, the only ones we could offer them were from Indianapolis. So it was really good to have a beer straight from their hometown to offer them.
This is really good. I'm not a big beer drinker, but I really like it. It's not too heavy. I feel like most craft beers are a little too heavy for me, so this one's really good and kind of just light. It's a good starter beer.
We want people to enjoy it locally with friends at a great establishment, and you know, Muncie has a history of a great craft beer community, and so we're just happy to be part of that.
New Corner Brewery has definitely made a name for themselves in Muncie. Thank you so much for giving me a taste. In Muncie, Samantha Paincal, NewsLink Indiana.
Make sure to stay on the lookout for Muncie's own New Corner Brewing Company.
The weekend is just around the corner, but will the weather cooperate with your plans? We have your full weather forecast.
And later in the show, we talk to a high school football team on the brink of its first sectional championship in 10 years. Next on NewsLink Indiana.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink, Indiana. Kyle, when I left home this morning, I wasn't sure if I needed to grab an umbrella or it was weird.
I know it started out pretty cloudy, but it cleared up as the day went on. Lindsay, what can you tell us we can look forward to this weekend?
Yes, so definitely this morning we did see some of those clouds and a little bit of rain, but definitely this weekend it's going to clear up and be nice. Right now we are sitting at 64 degrees and sunny. The winds are coming out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour, so some gusty winds that we're seeing. Our dew point right now is at 49 degrees. Moving on to our records. Right now our high today has been 68 degrees, which is about 11 degrees higher than what it has been in the past at 57. Our low 63, which is definitely not very close to what it has been at 39 degrees. Going on and looking at our national temperatures, right now we are sitting at 64 in Indiana, so that's definitely a little lower than what we're seeing across the rest of the United States, with 78 in Los Angeles, 81 in Las Vegas, and then 72 in Kansas City. Moving on to our Indiana temperatures, we're here at 64 in Muncie, 62 in the Circle City, and 66 in Bloomington. So definitely those mid to lower 60s across the state. Moving on to what we're seeing in our satellite radar from today, we did see some clouds and a little bit of rain in the morning. That all kind of cleared out as the day went on and the skies opened up. Looking at what we're seeing in our precision cast, which goes through tomorrow evening, it is going to be some pretty clear skies. Tomorrow, as you're getting ready for work, we're going to see a little bit of fog, but that is expected to clear up as the day goes on. Looking into weather for tonight, the low is 39 degrees, partly cloudy with some 6-mile-an-hour winds coming in from the north. Looking into tomorrow's forecast, it is going to be sunny skies and 59 degrees with our wind coming in at 7 miles per hour from the north. Looking on to our 7-day forecast, we have 59 on Friday, so if you're going to any high school football games, that's definitely going to be some great weather. Saturday and Sunday are looking great, both in the mid to higher 60s, 65, 68, and we do fall back this weekend, so you get that extra hour, so maybe you can spend a little of that time outside. And then Monday, 68 degrees, 64 for Election Day is looking great, so if you're headed out to the polls, some great voting weather. Wednesday 60 and Thursday 65. So you guys, we are expecting some great weather for the next couple days.
Sounds like some mild temperatures.
Too bad we don't have a football game this weekend, because it seems like the weather would be perfect.
That's true. Definitely.
But we do have high school football coming up. Indiana high school football is gearing up for sectional championships. We will talk to one local team looking to raise its first sectional banner in 10 years.
And the Chicago Cubs are world champs. Hear from a Ball State student that's making the trip to Chicago for a parade, 108 years in the making.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Abby Kirk with sports. Muncie Central High School has an exciting weekend ahead as they prepare for the sectional championship game tomorrow night at 7 against Kokomo. Now, Muncie Central hasn't won a sectional championship since 2006. I caught up with the team to see how they have prepared for the big game.
I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight. I think there's some rivalry with our kids and their kids.
Muncie Central is coming off a 7-3 season and will play Kokomo, who has a 7-2 season, which makes tomorrow night's game a tough competition. Now, Coach Morris says that there are some key changes the team needs to make in order to be successful at tomorrow night's game.
Defensively, we've played well in some games too. We've just been a little bit more inconsistent. Offensively, that's probably the strength of our team right now.
Knowing how important this game is, senior quarterback Trenton Hatfield doesn't want to stop now.
It's like all the hard work is starting to pay off, and we don't want to stop now. We want to keep going and keep rolling.
Tickets are $6 and can be purchased at the game. Now, the Ball State field hockey team will head to Kent, Ohio to play in the Mid-American Conference Tournament for the first time in 5 years. The Cardinals, who finished the season 8-10 overall and 3-3 in the MAC, will be the 4th seed and will take on the #1 seed Kent State in the first round of the tournament on Friday. The game is set to start at 11:30. Cubs fans worldwide were not disappointed after a 108-year curse was finally over. The Chicago Cubs have earned their first World Series win since 1908. Now tomorrow, to help honor that win, the Cubs will celebrate alongside with the rest of Chicago with a victory parade that stretches from Wrigley Field to Grant Park. All the fun starts at 10 in the morning, and a Ball State student is making the drive from Muncie to partake in the celebration.
Into the Blackhawks parades back home, and it's just so much more fun. Now that it's the Cubs, it's 10 times more intense. It's gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait to go actually celebrate in Chicago with everyone. I'm just really excited to see all my friends too, and go home and to get that feeling.
On most major channels. Now let's take a look at the winning play made by Mike Montgomery. Indians down to their last out, tying run on first. Montgomery gets Michael Martinez to ground out to the third to end the game. Cubs fans went crazy as it was a legendary game in sports history. Now to make the season even more unbelievable, the Cubs are also the first team since 1979 to come back from being 3 games into 1 in the World Series. Now, honestly, did you guys watch this game? It was
I
crazy.
did, definitely.
Yes, I'm actually headed to the parade. I'm so excited.
And even if you aren't a Cubs fan, you got to feel happy for these guys. 108 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be one of those games that people are going to remember exactly where they were and what they were doing when they were watching it.
A performance encompassing more than just dance will be taking place tomorrow at Edmonds.
And a country musician honored at the 50th Country Music Awards last night. Find out who next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Laura Stanley with your entertainment news. It's time to bust out your Lindy Hop for Ball State University Theater's production of Swing, a musical that takes us back to the big band era. You know, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Ball State's University Theater is performing Swing, a musical. The musical, co-directed and choreographed by Michael Warcel and Christy Zimmerman, follows the history of swing dance in 1930s Harlem. The musical highlights how swing dance transcended cultural and societal barriers in the pre-war era.
Well, swing actually started in the late 20s, and it actually had remnants of it lasting all the way up into the 1950s. But actually in the 1940s, during World War II, there was a decline of big band music for several reasons, because a lot of the band members were sent off to the war.
Despite the serious undertones, Zimmerman says prepping for the show has been a challenge and a blast.
This particular production, obviously, since swing dance is at the very center of it, there's lots of lifts and partnering that are a part of the choreography. And for our dancers and performers, figuring out that puzzle of how to put those lifts together and how to move into and out of them very seamlessly is a process. And so in the early stages of choreography, when we were working with the dancers, giving them opportunities to sort of solve those problems and figure it out.
Bursting with Ball State's most talented dancers and singers. Warcel says he looks forward to the audience toe-tapping along with them. The show runs from Friday, November 4th to Sunday, November 13th. Tickets can be purchased at the University Theater box office or online at bsu.edu/calendar. Opening night is tomorrow at 7:30 and tickets range from $10 to $18. The 50th Annual CMA Awards brought together the whole country music community Wednesday night as singer and songwriters Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley hosted the celebration. Dolly Parton was recognized with the 2016 Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award at the event. Parton has written over 3,000 songs during her music career. Reba McEntire, Jennifer Nettles, and Casey Musgraves sang a tribute to the 70-year-old singer before she was awarded with the recognition. A study released by the media advocacy group GLAAD found that gay characters appearing on network TV are at a record high. The annual report titled Where We Are on TV focused on the LGBTQ characters seen or set to be portrayed from June 2016 through May 2017. That's tonight's entertainment news. Back to you at the desk.
All right, Lindsay, let's take one more look at weather.
We have some great weather that we can definitely expect for the next upcoming days. Mid to high 60s for the weekend and then 64 for Election Day. So some great weather to definitely expect for the next couple days.
Thanks, Lindsay. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch Monday night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.